to killingtime.tv, or at least that's the website. And did you know that while we were in our little hiatus, a couple of other podcasts showed up called Killing Time? Some is about historical murders, I think, and another one's about horror movies. But we're the original.
Yes. Been doing this for almost 10 years.
Yes, 10 years on July 4th. It's been 10 years of the show. Hi, I'm Aya Akhtar.
JB, just Bob.
Right, Juice Pop, when I was doing editing the other day.
That's right.
I forgot that JB stands for Just Bob. For some reason, it turned into Juice Pop, and now he is Juice Pop.
Juice Pop. Okay, we'll go with Juice Pop.
All right, JP, Juice Pop. Okay, so first things first. If you're not aware, this is episode Killing Time, episode 99. Like, why is it episode 99? What happened to episode 97? Rob, do you have an answer for that?
I have no answer. You tell me.
Well, shoot. Now, if you don't have an answer, that means I have to come up with one. So my answer about 97 was supposed to be the episode where we react to the Ghostbusters trailer. Now,
Yeah.
I was trying to edit it, so thanks to the Patreon, they gave us enough money where I can actually afford Premiere Pro. Awesome. So thank you guys. So I can do this Premiere Pro. But the thing is, the audio and video weren't in sync, and something bad was happening. So I'm like, well, oh crap. What do I do? So I decided to work on the next episode in iMovie and just knock it out real fast. Now, granted, I could have said the next episode was 97. I'm not really sure why I chose to call it 98. But I did. And so now that's 98, and 97 will show up. Now, I can release the audio of 97 like right now. But there's a long pause where we're watching the Ghostbusters trailer.
Yeah. That might not be as good without the video.
Yeah, so I will work on that. I promise it'll get done. It might not get done before episode 100, but who cares? Because we recorded it, and it exists. So
For now, it will be known as the lost episode.
Well, it's not lost. I know where it is. I actually have a backup. It's right there. And I've been thinking, like today, I've been doing some numbers, and I'm thinking about whether I get a new computer, do I pull out the Mac Pro, which is from 2008, which was a beast at the time. Okay. So what I did was I checked on Geekbench. I checked some stats up.
Yeah.
The 2008 Mac Pro is still faster than like a low-end Mac Mini, but not by much.
That's amazing.
So the problem I have with this is, do I fire up the beast to just suck down the electricity, right? Potentially, busting circuits in this apartment building. Or do I get a teeny Mac Mini that's about like $500, $600, which I would have to invest in myself, and like have that be the new Mac Pro, which is hilarious if you think about it. But it's been like 8 years. So like,
Yeah.
shit happens. So anyway, that's what's going on with episode 97, and it'll get done before our 20th anniversary. Guarantee it.
Excellent.
Okay. Speaking of that, we got episode 100 coming up next week. Are we doing anything special?
Batman versus Superman.
I should see that. It's good.
Yeah, I'm planning on seeing it not Friday it opens, but Saturday. So by the time we film, I'll be good to go.
Yeah, I think at worst what happens is we push off the recording to Tuesday so I can watch it if need be. But I'm going to definitely try to watch it because that actually seems appropriate.
Yeah.
It all
It's a
comes
pretty
to
big movie. Big movie.
It comes to a head right there. Batman v Superman, and then we'll argue about it and how good it was. And hopefully that's the argument. I really hope that's the argument.
I hope that's the argument.
All right. So, and I think I might wear a tie.
Okay.
All right. Okay, good. All right. Let's get to the... this show is about reviewing entertainment, by the way. And occasionally we talk about entertainment news. So if you're at this far into the episode and you're like, what the hell is the show about? Well, look, it's episode 99. So if you didn't have a clue, why are you starting with episode 99? Sorry. Why am I insulting the audience? I've done this every fucking episode. When we came back, I've insulted the episode. I've insulted the episode and the audience every time.
I feel like...
What's that?
They like it. Obviously, coming back.
Uh-oh. We're having audio issues. So what I'm going to do is...
What's going on?
You're Skyping. You're okay? Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling okay. On my end, I'm good. I can see you. You're doing things. You're moving. You're talking.
Okay, now it's back. So folks, we made it.
It was touching. You got it there, right?
It was close.
Okay.
And the other thing is, by the way, on the edits on these shows, I try not to half-ass the video edits. I put a lot of B-roll now that you folks are backing us over at patreon.com/IAS, which again will get a change at some point versus I think maybe /Killing Time. We'll see how that goes. So if you watch the video shows, man, do you get some extras. Stupid extra things like lower thirds that are silly. If you haven't heard a modified fight theme for last episode, which I think was one of our best episodes ever, Jessica Jones versus the Brady Bunch, which is the better show. So
yes, it was declared winner. It was.
Uh-oh. See, now, you just cracked up there. So I'm going to call you back. I have to put these pieces of video together, and we'll return after this message from our sponsor. Wow, that was a great advertisement.
Yes, it was very, very good.
That was amazing.
Whatever it was, I want it.
Yes, I think I will watch that show, Complicate Life.
Yes.
Good show.
Yes.
Anyway, let's talk about what we're watching. The only thing I've actually gotten to watch since the last episode, well, not the only thing, but I think the biggest thing was the Civil War trailer. I'm sure you've seen this. It's like 2 minutes and 44 seconds. It's a long-ass trailer.
It's pretty epic.
But there's like the last 5 seconds of
You mean with... Are you speaking of Underoos himself?
I'm speaking of Underoos himself. That's right. Spider-Man. They finally show Spider-Man. And after I saw the trailer with Spider-Man, I was like, I want to watch Spider-Man. I don't give a fuck about this fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you thought too?
I love Spider-Man. He's always been one of my favorites, so I was really pumped up for that. I'm guessing he has a fairly small role in this movie just because there's so many people in it. But it'll hopefully be a good introduction that will lead us into his movie, which I'm really looking forward to.
All right, so we got to do what everybody's going to do, and everybody's already done. And we'll do this in the B-roll too. We'll show it to you. The Spider-Man costume. Now, It looks like Spider-Man. No damn question about it.
Yes, very good.
The first thing I've noticed people complain about is the tiny little spider logo on the chest. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it was easier, with spandex. This is supposed to be a kid making this suit. So easier with the red and the blue, and then just drew on lines. He didn't want to go with the big spider. I'm okay with it. I can live with it.
I think the small spider is fine. It's like, look, you got the guy with the big star on his chest. You got the guy that's either got a triangle or a circle or whatever the heck Iron Man's going to have there. You've got, who else has a thing on their chest? Well, it's like Superman and Batman, but not those guys. But anyway, so the leaders of the two Civil War things. They have their own, like, giant logos.
Yeah.
So maybe the Spider-Man doesn't need that ridiculously large spider. Also, he's, like you said, brightly colored. I don't really think you need the little spider to be like, who is that guy?
Who's that guy? Yeah.
Is that Ant-Man? It's like, no. the dude is jumping around spinning webs. Spider...
Which, by the way, he had wristbands on, so he must be mechanical webbing.
Yes, and he had what looked to be cartridges on his belt, which I really liked, which also shows that he can run out. So I think that looked really cool. What did you think about the eyes?
Spider-Man's eyes. Everybody on the net was making a big deal about the eyes and how they moved and everything, and I thought it was really cool, but I kind of want to know, how does that work? What are they, screens that, like, show what's happening with his eyes underneath, or are they connected to his eyelashes, or what? I don't know.
All right, so
what do you think?
My assumption is that this costume has something to do with Tony Stark, and Stark has done something to this suit because it's way too fancy for some kid to make in his bedroom.
Okay.
And so the costume we're seeing at this point is the product of a Tony Stark, Peter Parker collaboration. And the eyes themselves, there's some kind of, I don't want to say telepathic, but there's some kind of way that Parker is trying to focus the lens, I bet. Maybe if it's just attached to his eye, if you squint, it could actually act as a lens. That would make sense in theory because you can actually feel the eye muscles move. I'm actually thinking way too much about this. But I think that would be it. It'd be like a focusing issue.
What I think it is, what is good about it is it can help him show emotion when he's in costume.
I also like the fact that it's mechanical. Like, you hear a whirring noise.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no explanation. It's not like Deadpool where it's like, huh? It's fine. I think it looks cool. I thought the costume looked good. I think the voice of Tom Holland, he sounded like a little kid, and I'm like, that's perfect.
That's what Spider-Man's supposed to be. Little kid.
Although I kind of feel like he should have been doing like not a Batman voice, but like a little deeper voice. Because I'm Spider-Man. But I don't know. But I'm very excited about this movie, and we'll watch it one day. We'll talk about it on the show.
In May, I believe, correct?
In May. I think it's like right after your birthday. So there you go. Happy birthday, Rob. Or Juice Pop. Juice Pop gets Underoos for his
Juice
birthday.
Pop. Excellent.
There's the title of the episode right there. All right, have you seen Daredevil this time? Because when we're recording, it's the 21st. Daredevil Season 2.
I have watched 5 episodes of Daredevil. I know you have not, so I'm not going to say anything about it. All I can say is, so far, effing awesome.
Okay. So I haven't seen it. I tried to watch it with my son who's on spring break. And after the first about 15 minutes of the first episode, I'm like, I don't think this is appropriate for him.
No.
So it's not that... It's not bad at all. I'm like, this is really good, but don't want to have to explain any of this. It's way too much. I was hoping Daredevil would be a little bit accessible, and it is, but not for a 5.5-year-old. So
no, not yet. A little bit older, he'll be good.
All right. Shall we go to the news, which we never do?
Sure. News.
All right. So you sent me a link from JoeBlow.com, and I also got a whole bunch of notes because that's what I do. I research for this show now because why the hell not? So this is all about this thing called Screening Room. So Sean Parker, you might have heard of him. He started Napster. Remember Napster? Like when he tried to destroy like the internet?
Yep.
Yeah.
He pretty much changed the way we get music because of Napster. I mean, that's insane.
A long time ago, this guy decided he wanted to share music with his friends and be able to access their music libraries. And so everyone's like, that's a great idea. Why should I pay for it? I should just share for everything. So yes, he kind of was the catalyst to digital music sales. People were stealing things left and right. And it was very popular back when we were in college in the Stone Age, way back when. Anyway, so he's got a new plan or new venture called Screening Room, which is going to give people who like to watch movies the chance to watch them at home. So here's how this works. You get a new movie for $50 at home at the same time they open in theaters. You would be charged $150 for access to a set-top box, which is a bunch of all this anti-piracy stuff on it, so you can't just tap into it or like record off of it. It's just going to be...
Right, and that's a one-time initial fee for the box.
$150 for that anti-piracy box. You have 48 hours to watch the movie, so very similar to any other rental you get in a lot of other services. So the idea behind it, it's like, hey, you ever try to go into a movie theater and you got like a little young child or you have pets or something's going on that's weird around the house? You want to go and see the movie, but it's not exactly feasible. So that's the idea to get behind the Screening Room. AMC is apparently close to a deal with Screening Room. Variety reports that Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, J.J. Abrams, Brian Grazer, and Ron Howard all support Screening Room, which is somewhat surprising.
What I find interesting, just to add on, is I read something that of the $50 fee, $10 would go to the service, $20 goes to like the theater, and $20 goes somewhere else. But they're divvying up the money so that everybody gets a piece of the pie, so to speak.
Right. It doesn't kill the theaters. That's the whole.
It doesn't kill the theater, and they're also talking about if you rent the movie, also including 2 tickets to actually go see the movie as well. So then you would go see the movie and get the concessions and all that stuff as well.
Oh, no, see, I hadn't heard that. That sounds like it would be a real great reason for theaters to get behind that, because instead of getting the pirated version, I could see easily dropping $50 for Batman v Superman so I don't have to go out.
Right.
Or if it's a case of, is this movie really necessary to see on a really large screen? Like, I don't know. Maybe Zootopia, like I mentioned before. Remember, 99% of people liked it, or 99% of Rotten Tomatoes liked it, and I said, fuck this movie. So I'm the 1%. I think actually it was cheaper for me to go to the theater because I have discounted tickets at like $10 a pop. Right. So you make that decision, that trade-off. So of course, there are people who hate this. Person number 1 who hates this, and it's almost like you could just do this as a logic puzzle. If you had to guess, what famous director does not include deleted scenes? Does not include things like blooper reels? Doesn't do commentary? What famous director does things that are just mind-blowing and is like, you come to the theater because that's the way it is. But he speaks in an English accent. Do you have any guesses?
I know exactly who it is.
Who is it? Who is this man?
Mr. Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan is correct. As, of course, you have access to the notes and the links, and you probably have read this story.
Yeah.
But yeah, Christopher Nolan, very against this. His theory it's nothing to do with like convenience, or it's about, you know what, we as artists are we deserve this kind of thing. There's not enough money going to this. He's like, no, movies are shot to be seen this way. You're supposed to hear them this way. And arguably, as this argument goes, it almost sounds like Christopher Nolan's against any home theater experience in theory, because he's like,
he is. Yes.
Unless he's got like a whole second unit that shoots it just for the television. And it's like it's a Samsung 55-inch version. And then there's this Sony 32-inch version. And then there's your phone version. If it's shot for that, I think Nolan would be totally behind it. Now, maybe that's the future of video, where it's like it plays better on a phone than it does a TV. It's like, where do you watch it? Here, or here? So Christopher Nolan's against it. And I think that's just Christopher Nolan. And also, yeah. I'm a big fan of his movies, so I'm not really going to talk shit about any of this. Let's see, the European Exhibitors Trade Body, called the International Union of Cinemas, is opposed to it. They mentioned this on Friday the 18th. And art house theaters are against it, although I'd assume that's because maybe they don't get a big cut of the $50, because right. Their movies are not exactly in the same kind of demand. So I'm excited about this if it ever comes true. If J.J. Abrams and freaking Steven Spielberg are on board, that's fine. Like, that's...
Yeah. If they're on board, this has got a chance.
Yeah.
And it might be one of those things that it's obviously not inclusive. Some studios might include their movies, other studios might not. But just the ability to have the option on some movies would be great.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen things that come out on the same day and date as theaters are available on iTunes, Amazon, those kinds of things. Not exactly giant movies. But if Abrams is okay with this, and he's obviously got ties to Disney and Paramount... And it's like, getting studio support would be one thing, but getting these movie theaters on board where they get a cut.
Mm-hmm.
AMC is actually, that's a pretty good get. If they can get AMC, they can maybe get like Regal Cinemas or whoever else is in there in the long run. Because it doesn't seem like there needs to be this idiotic, hey, I could go steal this movie and nobody gets anything. Not that I recommend that, by the way. I'm not recommending that at all. Or I could pay $50 with this horrible set-top box. I'm going to say it's horrible because it's $150. It's not horrible. Who am I kidding? If it was a Roku app, I'd be freaking thrilled. But to have it, but it's $150. You get this box. Why not? At some point, this becomes like, it makes sense. It's really not that expensive. There were other machines out there. Do you remember like this thing called Kaleidoscope?
Vaguely.
Okay, it was a thing that recorded or ripped Blu-ray discs.
Right.
But it included the encryption. And it had to keep the disc within it. Like, the machine cost thousands of dollars because it was like one of the few legal ways to rip Blu-rays. That's moronic. Like,
yeah.
You don't need to do if you got to keep the disc in the box. Why isn't it just a Blu-ray changer? There's no point. So you can see how I'm getting all pissed off about it. Anyway.
Yes. But I see it as, like you said, it's some way to combat piracy a little bit, so that, granted, it's not going to completely get rid of piracy, but people like you and I would pay the money to be able to see a movie at home when it first comes out.
Okay. That's the end of the news. We don't have a news bumper. Maybe this will be it. That was it. Okay? Because then I don't have to go fix it in post.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So now we're going to play a game.
Okay. What game?
All right. It's called Guess the Movie Plot.
Okay.
Now, so here are the rules. I has picked the titles, mostly because Rob didn't know we were doing this game today. Rob has not been alerted to the titles. The word titles looks really weird when you keep reading it in print. And anyway.
I know what that looks like. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Are you ready for the 7 titles?
Yes.
All right. Number 1. This title is...
Yes.
City of Gold. What is the movie about?
City of Gold. Velveeta cheese. Liquid gold. I don't know if you've seen the commercials, but the Velveeta cheese for the mac and cheese, it is an entire city made of the liquid gold. And we have mice that are eating the liquid gold, and the city's falling apart as the movie progresses. And it ends with the last mouse dying of indigestion.
Okay, you know what's crazy? Is that this movie actually has something to do with food. So So points to you. It has nothing to do with Velveeta. Actually, I don't know if it has nothing to do with Velveeta cheese. There's a chance Velveeta cheese is in this. And here's the description I have. But I'm pretty sure it's not about mice in a city of Velveeta, because it's a documentary portrait that takes us into Jonathan Gould's universe to tell the improbable story of a revolution inspired by the pen, but driven by the palate, which is referring to his eating. So
I was so close.
half a point.
So close.
You're going to get half credit for that one. That's half a point.
Okay.
All right. Number 2.
Yes.
The movie's simply titled Holidays. Holidays.
Holidays.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is a story that follows 9 separate families through the course of the period between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and what happens in their lives dramatically in that period of time, as in the holidays.
Okay, that sounds like a good movie. Partial credit, because this is an anthology feature film. Because it's like following separate things. It's actually
all right.
Holidays is an anthology feature film that puts a uniquely dark and original spin on some of the most iconic and beloved holidays of all time. The film challenges our folklore, traditions, and assumptions, making holidays a celebration of the horror on those same special days year after year. I'm going to give you a 0.75 on this one. I mean, I don't think it's going to follow one family, but it could. All right. Are you ready for number 3?
Let's do it.
The movie's called Legend of Tarzan. What's it about?
I'm going to go with it's about Tarzan, as in the guy who was raised by apes in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
What's the plot, though? It's not just about...
Oh, okay.
Was he just sitting in a chair? He's just like...
No. Legend of Tarzan. Man raised by apes in the woods somehow gets found by society and is tried to brought back into a human world where he just doesn't belong.
Okay. You're going to get 0.25 for that one. Okay, here's why.
What do we got?
This movie, here's the description. It has been years since the man once known as Tarzan left the jungles of Africa behind for a gentrified life as John Clayton III. John Clayton III, Lord Greystoke. Greystoke?
Greystoke.
Thank you. With his beloved wife, Jane, at his side. Now, he has been invited back to the Congo to serve as a trade emissary of Parliament.
Interesting.
So
that actually sounds like a pretty decent movie. So it's like after the whole Tarzan story.
Mm-hmm. It really shouldn't be called Legend of Tarzan. Actually, no. Actually, it is about the Legend of Tarzan, because Tarzan is no longer reality. It's actually a good title.
Yeah.
Good points for that, but you get 0.25. You got fucked on that one. All right.
Scrooge.
All right.
Okay, what do we got?
The next one. It's called Jane Wants a Boyfriend. What's it about?
That's a sequel? That's the prequel to Legend of Tarzan. That's Jane's looking for a man.
I don't know if that's actually what she was doing out there in the jungle, but
that's she was looking for somebody. I mean, and she found the man.
Okay,
or ape man.
Is that what your final answer?
That's my final answer. Yep, Jane's looking for a boyfriend.
Okay, well, you might not be wrong, because I haven't seen the movie, but it's about a young woman, who I assume is Jane, with Asperger's, tries to find her first boyfriend with a little help from her older sister.
Huh. Okay.
All right, I'm going to give you...
Sounds quirky.
0.001, because you got the Jane right. All right. We're going to finish. There's 7 total ones, so now we're up to number 5. Number 5 is called Kill Your Friends.
Kill Your Friends.
Mm-hmm. What's it about?
That would be a sequel to Dead Man on Campus. Mm-hmm. And so you faking killing your friends so that you get the A in school.
Okay. You know what? You're going to get 0.1 for this one, because it, as you mentioned in A, this is about an A&R man working at the height of the Britpop music craze, goes to extremes in order to find his next hit.
Huh.
So, because you stressed A, I'll give you 0.1.
There we go. Okay.
All right, next to last here. Creative Control is the title.
Creative Control. That is a documentary about a young filmmaker, first time in Hollywood seeing that he loses all creative control of his work as he goes through the ins and outs of the film world?
No. This is a dead zero here. In near future Brooklyn, an ad executive uses a new augmented reality technology to conduct an affair with his best friend's girlfriend.
Wow.
Sort of.
Wow.
There you go. See, I thought that was a good... That sounds really neat. Creative Control coming soon. All right. So for this last one, you get a choice. A toss-up. Which one do you want to figure out? One is called Fastball. The other one's called The Program. And hint, The Program is not the Disney movie The Program.
It's not the Disney movie The Program. Is The Program...
You're picking The Program over The Fastball?
Yes.
Okay.
And The Program is about the documentary following the exercise programs that everybody is obsessed with, like P90X and stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight some words here.
Or
Okay.
steroid program. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to give you another one on that one. So you're going to get a point... I'm going to give you a 0.5. I'm going to give you half credit.
Okay.
Okay, because it's not a documentary. But this is the true story of the meteoric rise and fall of Lance Armstrong.
Huh. So I was good on the steroid kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
And when sports journalist David Walsh becomes convinced that Armstrong's performance during the Tour de France victories are fueled by banned substances, he starts hunting for evidence that will expose Armstrong. So let's tally this up. This is going to take a while. Let's see, 0.5 plus 0.25. This is going to be great. Why don't you entertain the troops while I'm writing this out on a calculator, which is hilarious.
Is this out of a possible 100? Because...
No, it's out of 7.
Out of 7. Oh, okay. Okay. 7.
Okay. Your final score with a maximum score of 7 is... Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't count one of them, so hang on.
Oh. Bonus points.
I get penalized for screwing up. That sounds about right. This has never happened before on this show. It's never happened. What's missing? Oh, you know what it is? The 0. That's what's missing. I didn't put a 0 down next to Creative Control, so nothing's wrong. All right, final score, but with the penalty because I screwed up so long. I'm going to give you +1, a whole freaking point.
Wow.
3.1001 out of 7. Final score, Rob, 3.1001. That's pretty good for not actually knowing any of these things.
No.
But your highest score was on a penalty, so I don't know what the hell that even means. It's only half the points. It was 2.01. 2.1 was your actual score before the penalty. That's very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so is there anything else that we're watching, anything that we need to cover before we run away?
I think we've covered this week. We'll save some good stuff for next week. We need to do Batman v Superman, and you need to watch some Daredevil.
That's what I need to do. I also need to find out what exactly that commotion was in the bedroom, because my son is here, and it's also why I wasn't swearing as much, even though I did have a good number of swears there. Okay, so this is the part where we thank all our Patreon sponsors. Thank you, everybody. There should be a list of names on my face or somewhere around here. Without you guys, I don't think I'd be able to do this show. At least now I have to seriously think about editing it now. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Those are the words. See,
thank you.
Yes, that's the words. Thank you, guys. We do have on KillingTime.tv, we have a page which thanks everybody who's actually put money forward for the show. Thank you, guys. If you can't be a part of the Patreon, patreon.com/IAS. If you can't give money to that, that's fine. Send out a link, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, wherever you feel comfortable if you want to support the show. If you don't want to support the show, put up 10 links to the Patreon. Remember that. If you don't want to support the show, put 10. And if you really, really hate the show, just dedicate blogs and blogs and blogs, okay? To patreon.com/IAS. And make sure that the people just keep giving us money to the point where we're not doing the show anymore. We're independently wealthy. So thanks to you guys. Or something like that. I'm not very good at this. As you saw my accounting before, not very good on the business side. That's also why I don't want to do ads on the show. Because, me in business, not a fan. Anyway, anything else I need to say? Yeah, KillingTime.tv, video feeds. We have an SD video feed. We have an HD video feed. We have an audio feed. I contacted iTunes because they were like, yeah, your show hasn't been on in like a long time, so this feed is dead, and you can't renew it. So I said, hey, do you mind if we do this? And they said, no problem. So our iTunes feeds, at least the HD one and the audio one, are working. I got to get the SD one going. So, yay! It's almost all up and running. By episode 100, we'll have everything. By episode 200, we'll be in 4K. And you don't want to see that. So, anything else?
4K would show all the wrinkles. We can't do that.
That's true. We'll be, by the time it's episode 200, we'll be back in 640 by 480. We promise. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.